And this is the beginning of the end. Today on the ManSpace. Welcome to the ManSpace podcast. We're your hosts, Doctors Matt Brown and Rob Porter, and clinical therapist Mike Porter. Welcome, spacemen. That delicious quote was brought to you by Guy Kawasaki. I don't know who that is.
I was going to say, should we know?
Guy Kawasaki. It's an American marketer. GuyKawasaki.com. I don't get why he gets a quote that's like as though someone hasn't already said, and this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an evangelist, speaker, and author of the book Art Start 2.0. That sounds fun in the echo.
I was going to say, I also love how much question there is in that.
It's because it's in a distance. Like it is. No, the Art of the Start 2.0.
Art of the Start.
Yeah.
Kind of like anus tart.
Oh, I should have started with that. and then go on to, oh, what wonderful friends we have. What we've made. Is that what he says when he's like holding his thing? And anyway, spacemen, we'll just cut right to the chase. The ManSpace is dying.
I can't do it.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to crack when I...
But then we would just chalk that crack up to like sadness.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I can't get through it, guys. Not yet. You have to wait till episode later. Not this episode, but this is where we're announcing we're ending the ManSpace. That's why we're ending it.
Because none of us can remember its name.
Because Mike made fun of me at the beginning and it hurt my feelings.
That may be an overly depressing way to state it, though. It's like we've been in a cocoon for 200 and however many episodes now.
And now we're ready
to spread our wings.
There's better
to break out of our chrysalis.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll call this the Chrysalis episode.
The space is confining.
Here, how about this quote from Winston Churchill then? Now, this is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning.
Oh,
that's deep.
That's pretty good.
What feels like the end is often the beginning. That one doesn't sound as deep.
Yeah, stick with Winston.
Winston, man, that guy was remarkable.
It's hard to go wrong with Winston.
We never weren't.
This was just a long start to what's to come.
5-year start. So I guess on this episode,
by the time we,
which I will say this, by the way, one of our listeners and one of my besties, Ryan, he told me, dude, seriously, watch Andor. In fact, let me give you his description of this, because I was like, how do I not watch it when you say it like that? Because he was telling me that he's like, dude, if you don't watch any of the other Star Wars stuff, he's like, that's cool because it's not great. But he said, it's the actual best thing in the entire Star Wars canon because it's actually just good TV writing and characters where all the Star Warsy stuff doesn't matter. And then he says, it's so good. There's like an Ocean's 11 part, a Shawshank Redemption part, and like gray areas and Empire Karen and like a Jewish mom looking for her boobie. And it's got Skarsgård. It has everything, but in the best way possible. Looking for her boobie.
I think I've seen the first 2 episodes of that show.
Me too. And he said, I didn't tell him that, but he did say, you got to go past the first 2 episodes. They're all set up and it's a little boring.
It was a lot boring. I think I was falling asleep during most of the second episode.
I did. We made it through last night. And Becky's like, well, I hope he's right because those first 2 were not great.
Yeah.
No, like bad. They're just nothing. It's just all set up.
Yeah. This was like a year ago.
Yeah.
That I watched it. And I really like Diego Luna, who's the actor. But yeah, I got to the end of the second episode. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
All right, so our setup is over. We got 30 minutes. Here's the deal, spacemen.
Drink store and darts.
This is episode 239.
This will be 237. This will be 238.
This is 238, which means this is our announcement of the final push of the ManSpace. And then as we get closer to 250, which will be our final episode, we will, I guess, tell you in that episode where we're going from here. But
it's true.
But we have covered the vast landscape of masculinity for a long time now.
That's good, man. The vast landscape of masculinity. I like that.
But we did want to open up these last 10 episodes. So 239 to 249 for very specific requests. But first, I guess we'll do our AI overview.
Yes.
Of what we have covered.
Matt took all of our topics and he told AI.
All of our titles.
He took all of our titles.
For whatever that's worth. Because some of our titles at the beginning were movie quotes.
But you reframed those. You rewrote those, right?
All of them?
Oh, did you not? I don't know. Man, that was so fun in my head when I was like, this will be fun. Each title will be a movie quote.
We could have kept going, but
it got confusing for people. And it was not.
They would have gotten to like more obscure quotes.
Yeah.
We would have been digging deep at 238. But it says the number one topic is
depression.
No,
Mike?
This isn't number one by downloads. This is number one by frequency of.
Oh, okay.
Sex.
Hold on.
Cover it.
Is it something about sex?
You're very warm in an erotic way, Mike.
He's warm, but it's not sex.
I mean, that's a subtopic of the main topic.
Intimacy. I got there first.
That's one comma before sex.
Oh.
There's two more words before those.
Relational closeness.
Relationships.
Vulnerability.
It's like relationships, marriage, intimacy, sex, and communication. Approximately 83 episodes cover that.
Okay. What? Okay. We have like 200 other episodes.
Yeah, that's the top by like 40-ish more or 35-ish more frequencies than the second highest. And then the rest of them are pretty much equal.
And we got to guess the second highest?
Second
Anxiety.
highest. I did the top 5.
Anxiety. Is that it?
Pretty much. Mental health, emotional awareness, therapy skills, self-awareness.
Okay.
Number 3. That was 47 episodes covering stuff like that.
Or 3. We did 47 episodes on this stuff? Number 3, Mike. I already got number 1 and 2. Technically, I beat you.
No.
Yes. Number 3.
No
You got it.
Friendship.
That one.
I mean, that feels like relationship, but we have talked a lot about friendships.
Not, I guess the ones that we talked specifically about, it didn't even make the top 5.
Oh,
really?
But this one, so I think, first highest is relationships. Second is kind of mental health, so like struggling. Number 3 is personal growth.
Oh, okay.
Responsibility, values, agency, and life direction. And surprisingly, number 4. Anybody?
I don't even know what's left.
Masculinity.
That's okay. That's what I thought number 3 was going to be, actually.
Oh, man. It's funny when we... Like, this kind of lines up with what I would think, but when I tell people it's a podcast about men's mental health and men in relationships, that's pretty much what I say every time.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of tracks with the first 2, but we haven't done stuff specific because I think we said, I guess from the beginning, we don't want to be another podcast that just pounds the pavement on like what a man is and masculinity and all these like controversial arguments about stuff like that. So yeah, number 4 is masculinity, male identity, manhood, and being a better man. So the better man thing, I'm like, that's personal growth stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And then number 5,
Fatherhood, parenthood,
no,
Hobbies.
second.
it's books, media, culture commentary, and popular culture tie-ins.
Wait.
That last one's probably our movie quote titles. No, but this is a good overview, I think. So I'll just read this. It says, your podcast's dominant lane is very clearly men becoming more emotionally, relationally, and personally mature.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, like when it says masculinity, I think, well, all those topics before to me are part of masculinity.
Yeah,
Just not masculinity in the way that
we didn't speak specifically
Yeah.
to it. Like I think
saying this.
intentionally we said this is
Yeah.
not necessarily what we want to do, but
Right.
But the strongest recurring topic is relationships by a wide margin. After that, the show repeatedly circles around men's mental/emotional life, personal responsibility, identity, and growth. And then the book, media, culture episodes appear to function as a secondary format or teaching vehicle rather than a core subject, which I think is accurate. That's kind of how we use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it does say a few strong sub themes that nearly made the top 5. So parenting, fatherhood, family, and kids. And then friendship, brotherhood, and male connection. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like we kind of... Maybe like one of the first episodes we talked about male friendship. Then we didn't talk about it for a long time. I feel like we've emphasized it more recently, and I am curious why you guys think that is.
Why we talked about it more? Or why we didn't
why
talk
did
about
it go in that order? Like we kind of emphasized pretty heavily like a lot of couple dynamic stuff for a while, I would say. And maybe some like men's mental health stuff, and then I feel like we tied in a lot more male relationship stuff later on.
I mean, I know my answer, Mike. Pause for effect. That was
What?
That was
Did I pause too long? Oh. I mean, part of me thinks, like, I know, and I think part of it is just what interests us as individuals. I think there are things that topics that we find interesting, and we would talk about stuff, and so then we would want to talk about it on here. I also think, like, I don't know. To me, I guess I'm not super surprised that relationships, like, we're couples therapists. So it's not surprising that a lot of our stuff would go that direction. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's because I think it's because of the way I am as a person. And like, I really have a hard time separating anybody from their relationship. So like, and I think sometimes I don't like to say this, but I think sometimes I'm totally wrong when like people will come in. Like I had a woman come in recently who was telling me that she thinks she might have ADHD, and she's describing all this stuff and said she watched a TikTok, and I was like, well, yeah, I was like, I don't do
source, by the way, for mental health
hands down the most effective source. I was like, I don't really do any formalized testing around it, so you might talk even just with your GP and see, what testing they might do. And it's like, it's not going to hurt to get tested, but you have to keep certain things in mind with like self-report measures and things like that. And then I said, but actually, I think it's more this, like you have like anxiety and ADHD overlap a lot in the way like your brain races and things like this. And then for this person specifically, I said, you're always paying attention to like all these relationship dynamics around you and how people are feeling and all these things that, and she's like, oh yeah, that is what I don't just wander off. I'm thinking about what this person's thinking, what's going on here. I was like, yeah, that's more of a relational anxiety. So I look at almost everybody in the lens of like, if a dude is not functioning the way he wants to function, I can't imagine a dude functioning that way in isolation of everybody else. So everything always ties into relationships to me. And I think sometimes I'm wrong there. Like sometimes I go too far and I overlook what might just be like. I think as the process of doing this, I've learned more about how important other dudes are in your life.
Yeah.
Because that's where I think I erred too much on the relationship, and usually your specific romantic relationship is the most important thing, for better or worse. And now I'm like, oh, I can see that differently now, but I just can't separate anybody out. So at least for me, every time we came up with topics or thought about topics, it always tied back into relationships. Plus, when people would talk to me, clients or friends or people who listen to the show, it would be like, there would be questions around my spouse. What do I do with my spouse? So I was like,
no, I think before you said that last part, I was going to be like, you're both wrong.
Good news. Now, just I'm wrong.
Oh, good.
Just
myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Just I'm wrong. It's cool.
I think we are kind of like I don't know if microcosm is the best word. Just our little tripod.
That's tripod.
I didn't want to say threesome. I don't think of tripod, so I said threepod.
Rumpel.
So, but I think that you're right. I think the biggest concern for a lot of guys is the primary relationship, even to the detriment of their own personal, like, mental health. And then the biggest ignored asset is male relationships. Mm-hmm. So I think even like without even trying, we kind of went that route a little bit too. Like I think one of the best things for men's mental health and men's couple relationships is their friendships with other guys.
Well, and it's interesting because I like, especially lately over the last 5 or 6 months, like I look at guys around me and I look at myself, right? Like now that I'm I don't know, I'm pretty well established in like my community here. And I think, yeah, but I still don't have friends, and it's taking a pretty heavy toll the longer it goes. Yeah. And so I've become much more aware of like, no, this is not like I almost feel like an urgency to try to get guys to be like, stop building your life around your wife and your family. Like, don't get me wrong. My wife and my family are still, they're still the most important things to me. But I have to start looking for, like, there's just something that I think, yeah, a guy gets it. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to, they just get it because it's a shared experience. So it's a thing that we can tap into without ever having to dive very deep, which is good because most of us aren't comfortable doing it. And so it gives us that shorthand that we can suddenly not feel like I'm the only one dealing with this. But at the same time, yeah. And so for me, at least one reason, like there were lots of times I wanted to talk about male friendships, but part of why is I was like, I don't know what else to say about it that we haven't already said.
No, that's what I was just thinking. And I think that's the funny part about this, right? We can analyze the crap out of couple relationships.
Yeah.
And granted, there's a lot more that goes into that relationship in some ways than a friendship. But yeah, I like, even though we know it's important and we know it supports every other aspect of your life, it's probably something that we talk less about and that we do more with or do more about.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't, in a lot of ways, we don't confront a lot of the same issues in like our male to male friendships as we do in parenting and couple relationships, right? But I think it's because of what you just said. Like there's just kind of an understanding that's unspoken. And in some ways, the more you analyze that and the more you pick it apart, the more it becomes something else that it's maybe like not intended to be. It's not that we can't have deep relationships and share things, but I think
no, but there's a difference, I think.
Yeah, and it could be that we feel like we've covered everything because like we aren't even as aware of the benefits that could come from it as we could be. And it could also be like this isn't something that you analyze and work through in the same way. It's there as a support, like it's there as a strength.
Yeah.
That idea that like I can analyze and restructure and talk about all day the dynamics between like a romantic partnership, even when it's like two males. But as soon as it's like a friendship thing, it becomes like, oh, this is trickier for me. Like not even trickier, but I just don't do it. So I don't have as much to say. It's like, well, we all need friends. Go make some.
Yeah, and even the book that wasn't super great. We all said like, man, I feel like it was pretty much over in the first third of the book. Like, and they kept going.
Yeah.
But I think it's because we haven't really nailed the first steps yet, so we don't even know what's ahead of that. Well, there's the AI overview. But yeah, now we need the spacemen to come on board.
All aboard! You don't say that on a spaceship. That'd be hilarious.
Nope, sure don't.
What do you say on a spaceship?
Neil Armstrong's like, all aboard! I don't know.
We have we got 10 episodes left before things to come, but like right on the show notes at top of the paragraph, you can like text or there's a button or something, right?
Just send us a text. Also, you can use my work phone number, 512-766-5154. That way, even if you know me, you don't have to say who you are. You can just say ManSpace and then put the topic down or the question you have.
Yes.
And it can be totally anonymous. You can even say, you could give us a description of like, hey, this is something that went on with me and my partner, my wife, my whatever, like.
But also for anonymity's sake.
Yeah.
I think when you text us through like Apple Podcast, I don't think it gives their information, right? It just says fan mail.
Maybe.
Like we don't get your phone number.
Yeah.
If you're worried about that.
Yeah, so if you're worried
about it. Same thing. My work number is 281-41 shoot. 417-4157.
Say it again.
Cal Turk.
281-407 like 4157. I was like, wait a minute, I got one number off. But yeah, you can text me as well. And I promise I won't save your phone number.
Yeah, because with my work text, if you know me, it doesn't show up as anybody I know. It's just a phone number.
But I guess we didn't say why we need them to come all aboard. Which is like, tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah,
we haven't covered episodes.
Questions you've always had, things you've wanted to understand you haven't understood, or if you could sit with us alone in a room and say, "Hey, tell me this," then we'll be like, "Do that."
And Rob also had a point.
I did,
even though we've got plans already for what we're doing next.
Oh yeah.
If you have thoughts on what you would like to see us do next, right?
Yeah,
that's what you said.
Yeah, because there are things like I've thought before. I wish someone would like write a self-help book like this, or I wish somebody would make a thing, like a YouTube channel like this. If there's something you felt like you've liked our personality or the way we function, that you think, hey, this would be really helpful to have this, and I've seen it before, but it drives me nuts and I don't like it. But I think you guys could do a good job with it. Or if you feel like it's totally missing and you have an idea, tell us what the idea would be, and maybe you'll win a McDonald's cheeseburger.
And also, if there's anything that's been particularly meaningful to you,
yeah, that'd be good to hear.
Text that to us as well,
because I'm sure we'll end up doing our own little cry fest with each other of what we've gained from this.
Because not all tears.
Real men don't cry. Sorry, I do have to ask real quick. Something I've asked, I think, the last 2 times we've been in person, so this will be time number 3. Did you guys hug each other today?
No,
but
seriously.
Well, here's what happens when I get here. When I get here, at least.
This happens when I get to your office too. I immediately go to the bathroom.
It's like a huge urge to pee. But here, I was actually thinking about it because I was going to hug him today. But check it out. Here's what I've come to value. I don't know that Rob gets much out of a hug. So I'm like, why am I forcing a hug on somebody that it's not meaningful for? I don't feel like a loss. If that makes sense. Like, I think there's some value in letting people be who they are and not saying you need to go to therapy and become more vulnerable before I'll hang out with
you. And then we can be friends.
But I will say, I think I've wondered this. It's like maybe I could get more out. I don't know what it is about a hug. I think over time, as I wasn't just a hugger, then it's like people thought I didn't like hugging and suddenly became this thing to me. So it's like, do I know how to hug? So part of me is like, I don't know, I could probably get something out of a hug. Probably I don't know what I'm not getting out of it. You know what I mean?
It's
that's true.
I think I can see both of your points. I think back to the first time one of my guy friends told me he loved me, but it wasn't there wasn't a big event happening, right? Like my roommates when I got married, right? Love you, man, right? Like,
sure,
going off the mission, like, yeah, we would say it then, but like just as general conversation, that crap never got said,
right?
And I remember I was leaving my friend's house one day, and he's like, "All right, buddy, love you," and I just kind of glossed over it because I was like pretty uncomfortable with it, and he completely called me out on it. Was like, "Oh, so you're not even going to tell me you love me because you don't love me? Is that what this is?" And I was like, I mean, I love you. And he goes, "Yeah." But it was just one of those things where, and I think this is where part of it for me, like, I can appreciate this idea of not wanting to force Rob into being right. Like, if he's not a hugger, he's not a hugger. And I have plenty of people in my life that are not huggers. And I think, yeah, that's okay. Like, I don't, like I tend to be generally respectful. Like if I am sensing or picking up from someone like, yeah, we don't do that, then I'm like, okay, cool. Then we're not going to do that. But I think there's such value in the expression of love. And hugging is one way to do it that is not as quite as like on the nose as, "Hey, I love you, man."
Yeah.
Which I do have a friend, like, it's the patron saint. He and I chat often. And at the end of like every phone call or every, whatever it is we're doing, like, we'll tell each other we love each other. And I think, there is value in that expression, not just like for the other person, but also for me.
I think
there's a connection that comes with it. I think
what's interesting is I've just gotten, I don't think about it. Like when Matt said, like, he comes up, he'll drop his stuff off and immediately go pee.
It's a long drive.
I do the same thing when I get there. And so it doesn't, it's a little bit like couples when it's like, why don't we have more sex? It's like one of them's usually like, I don't really think about it. But I will say it's kind of funny because I've had this thing. I don't mean to make this about me and hugging, but like, we're saying goodbye to my daughter's friends, her roommates and friends as we're bringing her back from school.
Did she drove back down, right?
Yeah, she and Stuart. Me and Stuart flew up, and then she and Stuart drove down, and I flew back. But as they're saying goodbye, they're all hugging, and Mary Ann's hugging everybody, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels weird being a 45-year-old man hugging you. So bye. And I was telling my sister, like, that's so stupid. And somehow it's become like, got to be careful. You don't look like a creeper hugging an 18-year-old girl, like
side hug.
Yeah,
No,
but
and
that feels like a dadly thing to do. It doesn't. I don't know.
Yes, but you're 45, so
I know, but it
You're
just
not
feels
45, are you?
47.
47.
I keep
I'm 45. I was like, wait a minute.
Matt, you're 45, right?
Rob
Mike,
Benjamin Buttoning.
Mike, you're 40. You're 49 in August.
Yeah.
Gross.
Thanks. I'm really feeling the love today, Rob.
Hey, you made fun of me at the beginning of the episode. Remember that?
I don't.
I don't remember what it was, but it was like, ouch.
See, exactly. You don't even remember what it was.
I know
the wound's still there, though.
Clearly, it didn't hurt.
All right, so spacemen, get on the texting.
Yeah, please genuinely text us if you have. I promise we will not say who you are. Even if I know who you are, I won't say who you are. I just want to know what these things are. Like, people ask me all the time. Like, friends they'll start talking about their relationship. Like, hey, what do you think about this thing? Or why is my wife doing this? It's like, just tell us that. We're happy to answer it on the podcast, which we've been asking you to do all along, but now's your last chance because your friends are dying. We're on our cancer bed. And we're dying. This is it. Before we are born anew and we rise like a phoenix from the ashes. And that's what it'd be called. The ManSpace. Phoenix from the ashes.
From the ashes.
Now even spacier. I do remember the day when we came down and we decided we'd call them spacemen.
Yeah, we had a few names before that. ManSpacers.
Oh, yeah. I like the idea of spacemen. Come launch with us. Launch me. All right, well. It's an interesting episode. We don't have any more to say? Because I don't want to stay on my favorite memories until like episode 250
which is going to be 3 hours and take place at multiple gas stations.
And we're going to have President Donald Trump on as a guest for the 250th. I'll probably get, I don't know, in trouble for saying that somehow.
That or you'll get an invite from President Donald Trump to be on the show.
He was on Joe Rogan, I think, wasn't he?
We're like, you're just right behind Joe Rogan in terms of podcast performance.
I was telling somebody about our podcast numbers. It's like, well, look, you have to keep in mind that probably like, yes, we're in the top 5% of podcasts, but I'd say the top or the bottom 90% probably did like 10 episodes and never touched it again. So,
yeah.
So we're just here because of persistence. So, spacemen, get on your modern day devices and text us 512-766-5154. You interrupted it. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, maybe, Rob, if we get enough responses, you could shave your beard on the final episode. Really, what I was hoping is that someone would be like, yeah, do it, Rob.
Oh, someone's going to now, you big turd. It's all right. I'll do that, and then I'll start working in the temple. Who'll be laughing then? So,
still me.
Come back and catch us next time on the ManSpace.
Bringing back an oldie.